painted. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I might. I don't know, we'll just see. Yeah. Good old hammer tone green down there. Lots of spider webs. Lots of barn stuff. Don't want to be. There we go. Yeah. That was enough to break it. Okay. Good. Yeah. See, it's been in that specific spot for a while. It's nice and shiny. Everything else looks like shit. There's a nice solid ring there. So, once I get that all wire wheeled, cleaned up and shiny again, should slide up and down here pretty nice, and I'll get it all oiled and make life a lot easier for myself. So, I'm going to go ahead and get the base off too. I'll just get the base and the deck off on this video. I'll be really happy with that. Nice thing about working on old American tools, you know, everything's going to be standard. There's not really going to be any metric in there. Or Imperial, or SAE, or English, whatever you want to call it. Here in the US, it's completely interchangeable. Most people just call it standard around here, but the unfortunate thing is I mostly work on cars. And as I said, I mostly dealt with German equipment. The company I'm at now, Japanese equipment. So, I mostly deal in metric. So my standard tooling isn't that extensive. Me referring to it as standard offends you. That's just too goddamn bad. Just how I'm used to calling it. Because this is the US, and standard in the US is Imperial tooling. So it's standard. Cool. Set bolt for the base is out. Let's see if I can knock that fucker loose or not. Oh, it's got a manufacturer plate on there. I really want to get this off now so you can see that. Get it cleaned up and see what we're dealing with. Uh-oh, chipped some of the finish. Cool. Let's quiet things down a little bit. Dead blow hammer. So it's been heavily used and abused. Dead blow. Good for -4 degrees to, what is that? 194 Fahrenheit. The reason it's called a dead blow, here, it's got these little beads in there, and it's all rubber. That's actually like a plastic capsule in there, so when you hit, it stops dead. It doesn't bounce. All that. It's like a sandbag. When you throw it, all the beads are at one end, the other end's empty, then it makes contact and all the beads slam. So it also kind of works similar principle to like a slide hammer, how it's got that sliding impact like that. But yeah, it's mostly just so you can hit something and it stops flat. It doesn't bounce like a normal mallet will. And they're rubber, so it's more soft impact than the big old mini sledge. I can't remember the weight on this guy. I think it's like a 10 pound. Yeah, it's hefty. I got it on clearance. Not bitching. Much quieter. Allows you to get nice solid hits without marring the surface finish. I'll wire brush some of the rust off the bottom. Hopefully, I'll take care of any lip that's preventing this from sliding off. Yeah, it's moving. And once I get past the rust, it slides off real nice because it's all shiny and smooth down there. Never been moved. It's not all rusted. There we go. Nice hefty base plate. Cool thing here, you don't always, well, you never see on the cheaper tools, but even some of the more expensive tools, you don't even see this, but it's always nice. We've got this aluminum wedge. You notice there's a circle that's been worn into it. What this is for, so on this base plate here, it actually sits on the inside, right behind where that hole is. And then it sits right up against the shaft here. The bolt puts tension on that. And the reason that is, if you notice, it's cut little circles in here. If this wasn't here, those little circles would be in that shaft. Now, for the most part, as long as you're not, overly torquing this or doing anything stupid, it's not going to be that big of a deal. On the base plate, honestly, not even completely unnecessary, because no one moves the base plate. As you can see, that's still brand new steel, never rusted, not even marred up from sliding, other than the sliding I just did. But what that's nice for is ones like this, where this guy's going to be sliding back and forth constantly. Eventually, things are going to start to get loose. The more you use it, you're going to start cranking down on this tighter and tighter, and you're going to be leaving circles all up and down this. The problem with that is, see if you can see there, just barely, it leaves a burr. And the problem with those burrs are that's something for this to catch on. And if you've noticed how tight it was sliding it on and off, that's not just from the rust. This is actually a pretty tight fit, which is most likely why they don't have it slotted like a clamshell, so that, because it doesn't need to be. You have barely any tension at all, and this thing's just seized right up like that, because it's a tight precision fit, which is really weird to say dealing with an American tool. Some of you guys that are maybe newer to tooling, most American tools that I've dealt with, 90s to 2000s era, I'm not super familiar, other than like hand tools, the older American ones. I've got some old Craftsman wrenches that were my grandfather's. Those are actually pretty nice. They're nowhere near as nice as my Nappa's. Even Nappa's not really that nice. I'd really rather have something better than that, but I don't do this professionally as much as I, should. Oh. As far as working on cars, I don't work on cars professionally. I do that in my spare time. And work supplies tools for me. So I use work tools at work rather than my own personal tools. It's kind of nice like that. But I digress. American tools tend to be pretty fucking sloppy. At least in comparison. What the fuck was that? I really need to get my bench done. This floppy shit's gotta go. But at least in comparison to German tools or Japanese tools, American tooling just tends to be loose. I don't know if it's just that we've got a good enough attitude where as long as it's good enough to get the job done, it doesn't have to be any better, or the fact that most American tools really aren't even American anymore. Let's see. Let's give us a good angle on that so you can actually see what the hell I'm doing. Oh, this is a long one. We're coming up close to a fucking hour here. Jesus. Yeah. Oh. I really wish I had some way to clamp that head down so it wasn't just grinding against the concrete. You can see it's starting to move. This is where having some oil or any sort of lubricant really would be massively handy. So just slide off here a lot easier. But as I stated, I haven't gone on the supply run in a while. I don't have any. Okay, well, you don't really need to see me struggle with this. Basically, my plan was just to get this off, kill the video. So, video's already getting pretty long. You don't need to see me wrestle with that. So, there's some of the shit that came out of the head. That's off. That's nice. There's our motor over there. We'll tear into that next time. Get the rust cleaned up off those slides so it slides in and out nice and easy. Let's go ahead and take a look at the plate on this guy. It just appears to be a serial number. Yeah, that's probably just a production number right there. It's not a date code or anything. I'd really like to see a date on this thing, though. I'd like to know when it was built. Got a couple numbers in the bottom, I'm assuming are probably casting numbers. I don't know jack all about casting, so I can't really tell you what those mean. As far as identifying this thing, you could probably Google them and get some information, but let's see. The motor, there's no, I'll just set the phone down and move the motor. is no year information on here. So yeah, okay. Next time we're going to tear into that motor. Probably won't do another update on the drill press, at least until I get the new switch in for it. And then we'll go through, we'll run a new line for the motor, get that switch on there. I might do another video. I might do one cleaning it up, putting the mechanicals back together. I don't know. We'll just see how it lands. But so hopefully only 2 more drill videos. One for the electronics, one for the mechanicals, and then firing it up. Probably fire it up on whichever one happens second, because it should be done at that point. Get a hold of the owner, see if he wants me to paint any of this, or leave it all rusty, or wire wheel it and let it rust all over again. I don't know. We'll see. Fucking pile of shit. There we go. Tripod's a bit of a bitch. Just a tension clamp there. Pretty sure it's built for iPhones, and I have a Samsung that's fucking huge. So, alright, well, this video is almost 50 minutes. Let's see if I can run out 10 more seconds of your precious time and just round it off to a nice even 50. Because, why not? I'm a dick.